And by transactional sex, or transactional consent, I basically mean a model that sort of objectifies sex in some way. Right? As something to get, as an achievement, an obligation. Right? And when I imagine consent this way, I sort of sense it in my body as like something outside of me, as opposed to something that I create. And I notice that I actually feel kind of disconnected from myself when I think about this. And on the flip side, relational consent prioritizes the connection and the creativity of sex. And when I say creativity, I don't necessarily mean like dressing up or having sex in new places, but just responding to what's happening in each moment, right? And allowing things to unfold with authenticity and spontaneity, and prioritizing the relationship over specific sex acts. In relational sex, you actually embrace not knowing exactly what's going to happen. That's part of the fun of it. So when I imagine this kind of sex, I feel my body actually preparing by becoming more present, because I can only be in a relationship if I'm really here. So I want to look at some of the characteristics of each of these. The first one we talked about a little bit, this binary versus spectrum understanding of yes and no. Second, the guiding question in each. In transactional, the question is, what do I want? And in relational, we get to, what do we both want? What's here in this shared space? And that leads into these goals of either getting what I want or creating positive connection. In transactional consent, my partner's boundaries are potentially an obstacle to me getting what I want. And my own boundaries actually sort of put me at risk of violation in the event that they're in conflict with my partner's desires. Whereas in relational consent, boundaries are information. Okay? They're information that guides us closer to that zone of mutual desire. And they actually present an opportunity for me to respect my partner and help them feel safe. For you neuroscience nerds out there, transactional, all these characteristics here are likely to activate this dorsal vagal response, which is about survival, as opposed to the ventral vagal, more social engagement response. And those in turn, here we're going to have either fear or anger under transactional, where sex is objectified, you're either getting it or you're not. And in relational, we have something more like curiosity. Now these are certainly not strictly cyclical, but they do feed back on each other. Okay? From a state of curiosity, you're going to be more open to sort of a spectrum and listening. And from a place of fear or anger, it's much more likely that you get this narrow focus going on.